Every generation is the same. I appeal to their lust and ego. I offer all the sex, wealth, and fame a person could want. Do as thou wilt has been my campaign slogan from the start.
The Majestic 12 is a top-secret U.S. government committee formed in 1947 by President Harry Truman to investigate and manage everything related to extraterrestrial contact.
Yo, welcome back to the channel, gang. We're back with some creepy and interesting TikToks that'll make you question everything. And most of the videos are thought-provoking, so we take it with a grain of salt, but let's dive into it.
So the Majestic 12, I looked into that a little bit more. The Majestic 12 is a top-secret U.S. government committee formed in 1947 by President Harry Truman to investigate and manage everything related to extraterrestrial contact, especially after the Roswell incident. It was comprised of 12 members, top military, scientists, intelligence officers. And the way that they found out about this Majestic 12 group, supposedly, was in 1984, a roll of 35mm film was mysteriously mailed to a UFO researcher, Jamie Shindira. When developed, it revealed top secret documents allegedly briefing President Eisenhower, details about the formation of MJ-12, mentions of alien bodies recovered, crash saucers, and cover-up operations.
Spooky.
You want to hear some of the supposed members of this Majestic 12?
Yes, please.
One of them is Vannevar Bush, a guy named Roscoe, who's the first CIA director, General Nathan Twining, Air Force, Dr. Donald Menzel, astronomer, possible NSA liaison, and then it says several high-level military and scientific personnel tied to the Manhattan Project.
Ooh.
Remind me, what's the Manhattan Project?
The bomb, Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Which would be why they showed up.
Yeah,
Dude,
interesting.
this
Wow.
is super crazy.
Oh my god, he's gonna cause a fucking fire. You son of a bitch, what's going on here?
I don't eat catfish, but if I was him, I would resort to a takeout.
This machine doesn't follow commands. It learns, adapts, and responds like a real human. Meet this robot. He's not from a movie or a sci-fi book. He's real. And he's designed to walk, talk, and even act like us. This humanoid robot can walk on two legs, just like we do. Balance, steps, posture, it's all carefully programmed. These people are on a mission to create a robot that can interact naturally in the human world. Whether it's holding a conversation, doing basic things, or even understanding hand gestures, he's learning every day. To test how this machine acts around people, they take him outside, to the busy places, open streets, shopping areas, even crowded sidewalks. He watches people, follows directions, and avoids bumping into anyone. Everything is a learning experience. Because walking in a lab is easy. Walking among people, that's where things get interesting. And here's something even more surprising. He's learning how to drive. With help from the engineers, this robot is being trained to handle a car. Robots like this are made for many reasons. To assist people, to help in jobs, or just to understand how humans move. Some are tested in labs, others out in the open. Every place offers a new challenge. From climbing stairs to walking on uneven ground, he can do it all. He is not perfect. He does make mistakes. But this robo is giving us a glimpse of what the future could be. A future where robots walk beside us, work with us, and maybe even drive us home someday.
This robot wearing black and white pandas did it for me.
I usually like to fly under the radar, but I figured since I'm already on the campaign trail, why not?
So now tell the people how you deceive people most often. What is your most frequent technique that you use?
Oh, that's easy. Every generation is the same. I appeal to their lust and ego. I offer all the sex, wealth, and fame a person could want. Do as thou wilt has been my campaign slogan from the start. And my campaign platform hasn't changed either. I run on the same three issues every generation. Lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life.
Now explain how you use the pride of life. How do you use that to get people to destroy themselves?
Humans are always on a quest for knowledge. I tricked the first humans to seek carnal knowledge over godly wisdom, and it's worked like a charm every generation since. With more knowledge comes more pride, and you know pride is my specialty. And since humans don't like to keep God in their wisdom, I'm able to seduce them with all types of things to help puff up their ego. Lately, fame has been my biggest seller. Who doesn't like attention and feeling more important than the next person? Once I make them famous, I can really use them to promote my agenda. With their help, I've convinced half of the world to not only accept sin, but to celebrate it.
So now tell the people what your main goals are. What exactly are you trying to achieve?
All of my policies are aimed to do one of three things: either steal, kill, or destroy. And if it's not doing one or all three of those things, then it's not in my agenda, and I'm not promoting it.
So explain how you target different ethnicities, how you use this against human beings.
Of course, I'd be a fool not to. Take black people, for instance. As a people, they're super spiritual, so I can't really convince them that there is no God. What I have been able to do as of late is convince them that he's not the God of the Bible. Now, I've been real successful at promoting black consciousness and Islam in their communities.
I'm so happy you mentioned black people. It seems as if we've been at the very top of your agenda for quite some time. Why is that?
A few reasons. Black people help me reach the masses. Now, as you know, I was over music in heaven. My beats were so dope, I got over a third of the angels to follow me. And once I got here to the earth, I needed artists and entertainers to help me promote my message here. Who better than black people? Black people possess all the natural rhythm and music ability that I need. And it's easy for me to influence them with money since so many of them grew up without it. Another reason I target black people is because they're strong mentally and physically. If black men were to ever find their identity in Christ, I'd be in trouble. So I try my best to destroy the black family structure and keep black men away from his family and the church. Drugs and incarceration are a couple of my more popular means. Without the head of the household present, I can become the head and influence the children without too much resistance.
So you mean to tell me that your policies are intentionally racist against black people?
Racist? This has got to be the best law I've ever come up with. Now, I can't believe that humans still believe they're different races. But to answer your question, yes. It has always been my policy to target and isolate a group of people. And out of all my strategies, this skin color thing has worked the best. I definitely want to keep white people and black people separated. As long as I can keep black people bitter and white people offended, I'm good.
The things that guy was saying was beyond crazy, but I was having a hard time getting past that mask.
What if I told you seeing isn't believing anymore? Think about it. Technology today has made it so that anyone can be anyone at any time. You watch public figures, news anchors, celebrities, even so-called independent commentators, and you think you know them. You think you're looking at real faces, but what you're really seeing is high-end costume work, advanced materials, precision crafting. We're talking stuff so good that unless you're an expert in military-grade fabrication, you'd never catch it. The world isn't just a stage anymore. Everyone's in full costume, 24/7. And the craziest part, you're not meant to notice. You're meant to feel like you know them. You're meant to trust the character they put in front of you. The faces you're shown, they're props, products of a pipeline you were never supposed to hear about, where entire personas are built, sold, swapped, and retired like characters in a long-running TV show. And sometimes when a personality outlives their usefulness, they just tweak the costume, change the name, and roll out a new influencer or a new voice for you to follow. You think you're following individuals? No. You're following scripts written for you by people you'll never meet, and the characters, they're just placeholders, professional fronts. Ever notice how some public figures, despite scandals, how they all kind of morph into each other over time. The same slogans, the same emotional bait, the same tired patterns. It's because they're all drawing from the same warehouse of manufactured identities. And if you're thinking, no way I'd be able to tell, just remember they bank on that confidence. They designed it that way. And once you realize that, you start asking questions they really don't want you asking. I'm going to go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
Yes, I have an RFID chip in my hand that's used as a key to unlock basically everything in our house. Obviously, I just use my hand to get into the house. And this is the main area which we live in. As you can see, the door's locked because it's red. Scan it. Hey, Chip Pup. We've got these doors and functions all around the house. This one's to our bedroom. And before you say, no, you don't, I got nothing up my sleeve, guys. Like, it's my hand. And during quarantine, Mike and I made these prototypes where we chip locked our furniture. This is definitely a prototype because it's not perfect. But I can unlock my nightstand. I can lock my office. We've got these all around the house. And even my desk. Look at it. Why would you chippy your whole house? Because it's a proof of concept. And we're a really techie and innovative family. Great, Chip Pup.
She probably got the whole family chipped.
Okay, you know in the Bible it tell you about the number 666. Yeah. Yeah, it say let one who got the wisdom and knowledge calculate this number. The key word is calculate. And you will know the meaning of that shit. So look, I'm gonna tell y'all, y'all listening at home, y'all write this, y'all try this. Boom. Write down the alphabets. Get a sheet of paper. Write down the alphabets. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like going down on each line. Write the alphabet. And for each letter, it'll be a number, a multiplication of 6. So A will be 6, B will be 12, C will be 18, D will be 24, E will be 30, and so on, so on, so on, so on. So boom, once you got your alphabet, you got the numbers down. Now write the word computer. COMPUTER. Boom, you find the letter. You find the letter for C, which will be 18. Right. You find the letter for O, whatever that number is. You find the letter for M, whatever that number is. But you add every number from computer, and that bitch gonna be 666.
Here's the mark of the beast.
Come on now.
It is the mark of the beast.
Come on now.
But then again,
come on now, computer. And remember how they are, like how they trying to advance technology to where like that chip in your arm, where if you ain't got the chip in your arm, you can't buy no food, you can't clock in or work. And remember in the Bible, that's what it say. If you ain't got this mark, you ain't gonna be able to buy no food, no woo.
Banks do not loan money. There's a law in America that says no bank can loan money, period. That's the law. How many people know that? I mean, think about it. Suppose you're buying a $50,000 car. First of all, it has to be appraised by a state-approved appraiser. Therefore, the paperwork which represents that $50,000 car is referred to in commerce and business as commercial paper. And that piece of paper represents $50,000 in business. So what happens is if you decide you want to buy the car, dealership sends the paper to the bank. So now the bank has a $50,000 worth of commercial paper. What the bank does is they open up a bank account in your name without you knowing it. But you don't know that. Then they take the $50,000 in commercial paper, which represents $50,000, and they put it into your account. So now you have a bank account in their bank with $50,000 in it. And then they take that bank account and they write a check on that for you and give it to you so you can give it to the dealer. So you think the bank has loaned you $50,000. No. The bank merely gave you credit on the commercial paper which they're holding. So they didn't give you anything. You gave them $50,000 on commercial paper. They just gave you a credit. That's the way it works.
Of this race that is controlling things on this planet, they are reptilians. They need the blood. The blood helps them maintain their reptilian shape, and it helps them maintain their sanity, and it helps them to live in this world because they are not from this world. But there are changes going on in the earth. It seems they're not able to hold their shape like they once were able to. And people see them shapeshift more and more. They are what Christianity would have called the demons.
Right.
Is this...
Yo, China is going through it. Lord, look at that. It's so hot that it made the ground come up. Look at that. That don't make no sense, y'all. Like, China is really going through it. Now, look at this motorcycle. This is a motorcycle right here. People is leaving people footprints, you guys. This is crazy. The ground is cracking because it is so hot. They are experiencing a heat wave, guys. Look at the people. They're dehydrated. These older people passing out.
China's artificial sun might be to blame for this.
This very peculiar man's name is Israel bin David, and it's said that he is now claiming to be one of the two witnesses that will be revealed in the end times tribulation. What we know about him is that he lives in Israel on a farm on the mountain of Samuel, in the very place the prophet Samuel lived and established the first prophetic school, Ramah, around 11th century BCE. He is a messianic Jewish minister, found his salvation through Jesus, now preaches Jesus, and through his videos and the spreading of the gospel through Israel is warning people that we are living in the last days.
Jesus, Yeshua, coming soon. And I ask you today, are you ready?
Now, we know that the Bible teaches that the two witnesses are going to be revealed in the second half of the 7-year tribulation. Revelation 11 describes the two witnesses prophesying for 42 months while dressed in sackcloth, which is during the tribulation period. Daniel 9 indicates the tribulation lasting 7 years being divided into two halves, and the first half being a time of peace. Then in the second half, the two witnesses appear. Their timing is significant because it coincides with the Antichrist consolidating his power. Some believe that the two witnesses are significant people in the Old Testament who will be brought back, and some believe that the two witnesses are alive, living amongst us now. We are definitely living in some interesting times. Let's see what happens next.
According to the Bible, the witnesses are not named specifically, but it's assumed to be Elijah and Moses. So for him to claim to be one of them is kind of odd.
Meanwhile, in Texas, they're shoving people down holes, apparently, to find the lost world. Okay. Are you doing this of your own free will? Click your heels together 2 times if you need help, buddy. Oh my gosh. This is the thing of nightmares. Why are we're continuing to go? Okay. This is getting increasingly claustrophobic. Oh my god. Oh. Why is the water green? Why is the water green? Did you discover the lost world of 1,000 poops? This is horrifying. What is that? What is... No. And they're going down. Let's go further. My gosh, what's wrong with these people? And they're down there already. And they can't even... It's so dark they can't even see the lights of their buddies that were up top. And who's that, Spider-Man? And there's 3. There's 3 of them now. So 3 people. Squeeze through that little hole? I don't think so. This world would stay lost.
Hopefully they're not playing Curious George and they're actually getting a big check for this.
Are the foods modified? Tomato, potato, asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, almost all the basics are purposely. And as you know, they have a terminator seed now too. Yes. Because the farmers can't plant seed, you can't plant seed now unless you buy it from the government. They come up one season and they're gone, which means they're already modified. Watermelons down here with seedless watermelons. I wouldn't even touch a watermelon with no seeds out. But if you breathe, what are you going to breathe? You can't call it air anymore. We breathe something that is overtaxing our body with toxins that we're trying to get through the day on. We have chemical sprays being sprayed over 245 major cities in the United States, and all over our planet now is an electronic metal smog. And I can tell you why that's done too. We have these Gwen towers that they have erected, which are also perpetrating that continual thing. We have heart programs. High Frequency Active Aurora Research Project. We have ELATA over in Russia, Electrified Atmospheric Discharge. We have ISACAT, European Scattered Radar Manipulation. All these things are broadcasting billions, I didn't say millions, combined billions of watts of amperage of ionic electrified air particles into the air. We are breathing now titanium, aluminum, barium, non-human T cells, all kind of other things is being sprayed from ships that aren't supposed to be there. So you have metal particulation in your system. You have electrified air, which is poisonous in your system. And then whatever else of the smokestacks and the exhaust from cars are there too. Unless you can clean that out, your body's not only going to age very quickly, the cells are going to deteriorate, and you're not going to function on the heights you should be. That's why most people are running around I call them comatose, dumbed down, brainwashed, vaccinated, inoculated, and encrypted. Any two of which makes you unusable to a society that's trying to develop.
Heard those names before. But encrypted is
chipped. You go to the wrong, shouldn't say this on TV, let's put it away, wrong lab that's making a prosthetic device, whether it be from your teeth or leg, they probably put a chip in, unless you're very careful. The food you eat is probably encrypted. If you have any vaccinated, you are encrypted. If you're in armed services, you're encrypted.
They're telling me to call out to Jesus, and I called out to Jesus, and a man physically dressed like the character of Jesus walked into the room and abused children in the room. There's a physical people that are vampires, that live and have an altered metabolic system in their body to digest blood. As I was fading and splitting and losing consciousness and beginning to convulse and drown, he would bring me out of it. And when I would come to consciousness, I didn't have any memory of the past. That was a new split, a new personality. They still try to bring me back in. They don't give up on an expensive asset. The common misconception is like, Jesus died, he went in the grave, he came up on Sunday morning. And you're like, okay, great. They folded the linen nice. Not at all what happened. He went to war immediately. If you put your faith in him, you're immortal until he says otherwise.
So you guys were married, you'd wake up the next morning and not realize that you were married?
Yeah, I'd wake up with like blood under my fingernails and stuff in my trunk I had to get rid of.
Up until 1999, the Oscars was held at a building called the Shrine, which was founded by William Florence and Walter Fleming, two high-ranking Scottish Rite Freemasons. Hollywood has long been interested in Freemasonry. Gene Autry, John Wayne, Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, C.C. DeMille, Clark Gable, Walt Disney, Oliver Hardy, you name it, the list goes on. Many celebrities have come out and admitted their connection to Freemasonry. In the book Morals and Dogma, written by Albert Pike, on page 321, Freemasons let us know exactly who their God is. It says, Lucifer, the light bearer, strange and mysterious name given to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning. It is he who bears the light. And with it, splendors intolerable, blinds feeble, sensual, or selfish souls. Doubt it not. When the movie Life is Beautiful was awarded at the Oscars, the camera quickly pulls back and shows a wide of the stage. When you pause it, you can see elements of Freemasonry built into the very set. If you look at a Masonic tracing board, a tool a Mason uses to teach and educate people involved in Freemasonry how to spot things that are connected to that organization, you can see the checkered floor, you can see the archways, you can see the sun motif in the background. All of these are letting you know exactly who owns this organization. When the Oscars moved from 1999 from the Shriners Building to the Kodak Theater, where it currently resides today, you can still see a lot of these elements of Freemasonry incorporated into the stage. You have the sun motif in the ceiling. You have the checkered flags upon the stage and the arches. Outside of the Kodak Theater, you have the gate to Ishtar. And you have Babylonian gods put on the outside of the gate. The whole area surrounding the Kodak Theater was designed after a 1916 movie called Intolerance, where they recreated the very set that they had for Babylon.
I think any important building in Hollywood is bound to be saturated with a bunch of Masonic symbols.
In all cases of danger and distress, in whom do you put your trust? Is that they cannot kill what? Why the great men of every nation under no less penalty than my throat crossed, my tongue torn out to bite, that I be buried in sand, then join hand in hand to each other. Let the brother receive the light.
Started researching the cult, I learned that Satanists believe that they have to reveal who they are in some way, shape, or form. So that is why we see a lot of these occult members in Hollywood constantly flaunting symbolism. We see the pyramid, the Illuminati pyramid a lot. We see the evil one eye constantly. It's always on the cover of magazines. We see these are supposed to be the 666 devil symbols. We constantly see those symbols. We also see pedophile symbols, the swirl or the triangle within a triangle.
I guarantee you this wasn't his purse.
And we also see a lot of these members of the cult go on their social media and they talk about children. They talk about worshiping Satan. And people write it off as a joke, but they're not joking.
I think this world wisened up because back in the days we saw celebrities throwing up hand gestures and we thought it was art.
So you mean to tell me Area 51 is on fire and nobody asking what they really burning? You mean to tell me the most secret base on Earth just caught on fire by itself? Yeah, alright. Y'all, something weird is going on. Y'all do not understand what the hell is taking place right now. So many things is happening all at once. 30,000 acres are on fire near Area 51, y'all. So they say this fire started on July 4th, y'all. They said lightning came down, scoosh, and started that fire. And it's still burning currently as I speak. So with all this going on, people online are saying the government is trying to burn evidence, y'all. That's why the fires is happening. I don't think that's the case. Here's the part that got me thinking. There's not a lot of coverage on this. This joint just burning in silence, y'all. Like, what? So then you got people online that's talking about the fire when it started over there beside Area 51. They captured what appears to be an orb or an alien, y'all. Now, I don't know if it's an alien, y'all. But all I know is if you wanted to erase something real quick, a wildfire would do the job for you. That's all I'm saying.
If it's an act of God by lightning, that's one thing, but otherwise, somebody might be trying to cover up something.
Yo, I can't believe this was in a kid's movie. The joke completely went over our heads until now. I'm about to reveal something. We all know and love Toy Story, hopefully, if you have a soul. If you don't, you probably were watching some other movies like, I don't know, Monsters, Inc. Anyway, but when you look at these dolls, I always was like, oh, cool. Then took the doll apart, 3-piece doll, never knew what it meant. But always go to the comments. Camp Crash says, a hooker and a quackhead, meaning a crack. That blew my mind. And then, of course, Gail below is saying it's still going over my head. And I'm 36. I'm with you. But that's not the one that got me. That was very enlightening. I was like, oh, okay, I had no idea. But when you look at the quackhead and you look at the hooker was kind of, we knew that. Even as a child, I was like, oh, okay. I still didn't know what it meant, but I was like, oh, little fishing head. Nah, you know, fishing head is hooker. But this one is the one that we don't know about until now. One-eyed monster. Hey, yo. How were they slipping these in, no pun intended, on these Disney movies when we were kids, bro?
So this is Tesla's new Cyber Cab. It will go into production in 2026 and be available for commercial use in 2027. I'm told it will cost between $25,000 and $30,000. And look at this, it's completely autonomous. You have no steering wheel, no pedal, no buttons, nothing other than one screen to share for the 2 passengers. But it'll also be B2C, meaning you can buy it and this could be your go-to vehicle. Imagine you own this Cyber Cab. It drives you to your office, but then instead of parking in your office, and instead of maybe having to pay $10 or $20 for parking in case you live in like San Francisco or New York, you can actually just say, hey, keep driving, go drive back to my house. Or you can even turn it into a cab mode, and it can go and pick up passengers, and you can actually make some side income off of your Tesla car while you're busy at work, and then the car can come and pick you up at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be like I either own and drive my own car, or I don't own a car and I have self-driving cars, taxis, robo-taxis driving me around. No, there's actually a mixed model. There's a hybrid model. Now, about 70% of all rides in big cities constitute of just 1 to 2 people. So that's why the Cybercab is just a 2-passenger seat. They're like, you know what, we're just gonna optimize for the majority of rides, which is 2 or less people. We're not gonna have more seats than that. So then in the back, they're gonna have a place for bags. They can have up to 4 bags. Robo-taxis are also launching presumably in Austin, Texas very soon, but those appear to be mostly Model Ys. You won't see this until 2027. Inside it looks insane, literally the most minimalistic thing I've ever seen inside a car. And I'm curious to see what kind of configurations they're gonna allow, because imagine if I don't have to drive my car and I'm gonna be in this car, let's say for an hour sitting in LA traffic, I'm probably gonna want like a desk or something. I'm gonna wanna use my laptop, or maybe like a projector and watch a really good movie or show or something like that.
This woman was on a cruise when she found some pretty creepy decor images on the boat. Images of young individuals with their eyes closed and mouth open. There were several versions of this throughout the hallways. In what world would a professional cruise line think this is good art to welcome anyone on board? So obviously it got people thinking, because it also almost looks like the children are screaming. It's really unnerving. And by this woman's reaction, she also felt very uneasy and scared.
If you know what cruise line this is, drop in the comments.
A lot of morgues are going under too because they're getting hit with not actually cremating the bodies. They're keeping them. And they're saying, oh, here's your ashes. And that's not them.
No way.
Yeah, and they're keeping the bodies in there. They're trafficking them. And there's one video where I believe it was a family, I believe they were going to see their mother. And they go into the morgue and there's bodies everywhere. And they're like, it's hot in here. Nobody was put up. It was crazy. And they were like, yo, how are you running this business like this? And then they reported them. But I think that's what's happening. I think that they're low-key running some type of organ trafficking operation.
This is crazy. Like, could you imagine?
Alexa, is the US switching to rainbow currency?
Here's something I found on the web. According to threadreaderapp.com, that our entire global banking industry has flipped to the QFS asset-backed digital currency, and that the US will be switching from fiat USD to rainbow USN currency with new silver and gold coins, all with their own individual trackable embedded barcodes so the QFS can track.
The CIA had a program to trace this alien DNA in certain families in the United States, that certain families, and particularly their children, were of interest to CIA. I didn't know what to make of it back then, but you start talking about the GATE program and subsequent studies of children and their capabilities and their abilities to do certain psionic things. That now comes to my mind.
I don't think it took the CIA long to track those families down. I mean, once you do any blood work, your information is in the system. But that's it for the video. Thanks for kicking it with me as always. But before you leave, hit the like button and sub up. And let me know what you think about any of those clips in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.